vent. Now I have a way back up in case I fall.
Yo guys, and welcome back to another AC Valhalla stream. Today with a very short session. We're only going to be streaming for about 2 hours or so, because that's all the time I have today. But yeah, I want to continue with Valhalla and do a bit more progress to kind of like have a chance to finish it before the year ends. And we're going to start off where we left off yesterday with a discovery tour. I've been currently doing the Guthrum, who's right here, and Offred's storyline. And yeah, it's kind of like about the siege of Chippenham and the ultimate defeat of Guthrum through Offred. And we're playing currently as a bishop who has been held hostage by Guthrum. So we're kind of like trying to stay alive, but also to, you know, unite with Offred again and his troops. But yeah, we're only going to be finishing the Discovery Tour quest for that we started yesterday, and then we hop back into main game so we can make a start on Jotunheim, which is the second dream that Eivor will have at Volca. Save a rod. Welcome in, Senny. Thank you for joining, dude, and thank you for the host. I hope you had a great second stream of Tomb Raider. I was lurking on you, but the class and all that, so I couldn't really write much, unfortunately. But I hope it went well with Tomb Raider Anniversary. But yeah, it's going good. Had a nice day so far. Have a bit of time, like roughly 2 hours or so for a bit of Valhalla today. So we're gonna be doing some discovery tour and also starting the Jotunheim dream sequence. So yeah, quite looking forward to make a start on that today, even though it's gonna be a very short stream. But yeah, also have some bolognese cooking on the stove, which I'm looking forward to make some lasagna of later. So yeah, it's gonna be some delicious dinner today, hopefully. Okay, check out this station here. We have Anglo-Saxon Homes. They're built using different techniques but share the same three materials: timberwood, wattle, and daub. Builders like to use oak because it was solid and widely available. Wattling was a technique whereby small branches were braided together to form solid wooden panels. Daub was a mixture of earth, clay, and animal dung. It was used to fill the gaps between the timber or to provide a solid surface for the panels. People's houses and living conditions varied according to their social status. The common people would live in wooden huts like this one. They would use the same space for cooking, eating, socializing, and sleeping. The wealthier member of a community would likely have a bigger house. It might include as a hall as its common area, and the family would sleep in a separate building. Hey Max, thank you for the lurk, dude. But no worries, our buddy, you did things. Cheers for the lurk, dude, it went well. You now just have final 3 levels to do, so next Thursday you finish it, then Legacy after that, which you'll be able to finish that game because it's a shorter one, probably about 4 hours total. Oh, very nice. Yeah, that sounds like it's some good progress overall. So what comes after Legacy? Legend, sorry, I misread that. What comes after Legend? Is it already the reboot trilogy? That sounds great. Food, glorious food. Indeed, dude. Yeah. I really felt some lasagna today. So, yeah, gonna do it for Levy and me later. So I think my Wi-Fi might have died. Maybe? Hold up. Let me see if my phone is actually able to view the stream. Okay, I think we're good. Also, thanks for banning that account. I actually want to check that in mod view, but kind of forgot about it. Because I seen that follow earlier, like, not that long ago actually. Like just before I started streaming. So, yeah, I was a bit curious about that one. Thank you for taking care of that, Rod.
Get inside, monk. I won't be held accountable by Guthrum if you disobey him again.
So after that will be Underworld, Order of Release-wise. Legend was the first in 2006 and rejuvenated the franchise. In 2007's anniversary game was made as a remake of Tomb Raider and a prequel to Legend. And when Underworld was released in 2008, no worries, Cindy. Yeah, thank you so much, dude. I gotcha. But you kind of like play them in a different order, right? You kind of like go for the story order, right? Like story chronology.
Tight, yeah!
Hey, just lurking up and working. Bringing in a sub-crook one happy Ezio.
Thank you so much, Maxi. I hope you're having a nice day. Thank you for the 11 months of resubbing.
Good morrow, Bjorn. Have you come to join me in prayer?
Never, monk. Guthrum Jarl wants to speak with you in the Longhouse. Bring your golden idol. You'll need it before long.
Bjorn is waiting. I should not stoke his impatience.
That's good to hear, dude. Yeah, I'm doing very good as well. Having a nice day. Go online for like a very short stream today, like about 2 hours or so of Valhalla. But yeah, I want to do some more progress. We can hopefully finish this game maybe before the year ends. I think it's a bit ambitious, but who knows, maybe we get there. Okay, we could collect the relic here.
It's time to travel again, old friend.
Yeah.
This relic carries a shard of the one true cross, if you doubt its potency.
I doubt every lie that falls from your lips. Asher Guthrum, you made it trouble for me and my men.
Trouble brought upon you by your own actions.
And by a monk who doesn't know when to keep his mouth shut.
Only after we admit our faults and beg forgiveness, can we hope to atone for them.
Spare me your sermons. I won't forget the debt you owe me. And neither will you, if you have a mind to keep living.
I wonder what Guthrum wants.
I have to say, it's really well written, like the Discovery Tour. And actually, I just thought the exact same when I heard him talk. Is that like Arno's voice actor? Did you become a monk in your former life, Arno? And the leader of a rebellion in France?
You wished to see me, my lord?
Your king has finally sent for you. Alfred has delivered the terms of my surrender and I have accepted. You are no longer my prisoner.
Thank you, my lord. I will remember you in my prayers.
One moment, Elrich. I admit the insights I gleaned into the Saxon mind through our discussions made Alfred's terms easier to swallow. He wants me to be baptized, to become a Christian king. It is you who convinced me that doing so would increase my power, not diminish it.
Of course, any who come to the Lord are welcome. Hopefully in time, You will appreciate the many other gifts God offers beyond mere power as well.
Mere power? Hold your tongue, monk. With the treaty signed, your usefulness is at its end.
Yeah, the game's usefulness is at an end because apparently it just crashed within the first 15 minutes. Oh, let's restart then. Monk is in. That's a good one, actually. Yeah, I don't know, like hearing him again, I think it's possible it's Arno's voice actor, but I don't know, it still sounds a bit distinct. But maybe he's just really good at changing up his voice. I think it's possible. I'm not sure. But yeah, we should really update his IMDb list though. Like, Siege of Paris has been out for a couple months now, so we could easily, you know, add his role there. Alright, let's get back to it. Wonder where we actually saved. If they saved. I feel like they made the slide worse. Like they changed the way it works, like before you had to hold the button. Or you just have to kind of like tap it when you're printing. But then they also changed that you can like slide both directions. Now it's only like one kind of like direction he's looking at. Before that he would like, you know, switch from right hand sliding to left hand sliding. I wonder why they did that. Or what's the reason behind it, or if it just kind of like happened as a bug or something. I feel like both the control was better before, but also obviously it had like an extra animation. You always think of Age of Empires 2 whenever you see that image for the Discovery Tour for Valhalla. Does it have like a similar poster or something? I actually played quite a lot of Age of Empires 1 back then. That's also one of the games on my retro playlist. But yeah, dude, I loved Age of Empires 1. Never really got around playing the other games, but I did watch quite a bit of Age of Empires 2.
You wished...
Your king has...
Thank you, my lord.
One moment, Elrich. I admit the insights I gleaned into the Saxon mind through our discussions made Alfred's terms easier to swallow.
Of course, any who come to the Lord are welcome.
Mere power? Hold your tongue, monk. With the treaty signed, your usefulness is at its end. Leave by the main gate. A horse awaits you. Now go before I change my mind.
Yes, my lord.
Peacemaking, peace-breaking. Peace like warfare was a political tool. Rather than a complete lack of violence, the Anglo-Saxon considered peace to mean, at a precise moment, high precision gather, in a specific place, two parties made peace for as long as both sides agreed to it. Leaders and their men would swear not to fight each other if the other party kept the peace, that is, if neither side broke the agreement. The two sides could also exchange hostages, as in members of the group would be handed over in order to secure the agreement, with the understanding that if the peace was not kept, the other party would dispose of the hostages. At first, Christianity did not profoundly change this conception of peace. Instead, peace eventually required that the leader lend his men become Christian since Christians would only trust other Christians. Even then, it didn't mean that peace couldn't be broken in the aftermath of a baptism. In this scene from the Bayeux tapestry, Conan, the Count of Brittany, gives the city keys to William, the future King of England, as a way to surrender and make peace. And this you can find in Bayeux Museum in France. I think it's a bluish aspect of the image. Okay, let me actually have a look. Oh yeah, dude, I can definitely see it. Also with like, that's supposed to be a Viking on the left, right? And then the guy in the middle definitely has a resemblance to kind of like the Saxon, Alfred. I can definitely see it actually. And you also have the longships in the background. Yeah, that totally gives me Discovery Tour Valhalla vibes, actually. Definitely. We also have the Truce of Wetmore. In the aftermath of the Battle of Addington, the Viking chieftain Guthrum and 30 of his companions were baptized at Allaire, where Alfred held his court. Following the baptism, Guthrum pledged to withdraw his troops from Wessex. It was chronicled that for 8 days following the liturgical instructions, Guthrum and the baptized Vikings wore the white robes of those newly born in Christ. Then at the royal estate of Wetmore, after receiving the right to remove the white attire, the Vikings joined Alfred and his entourage for 12 days of feasting. According to scholars, the Truce of Wetmore is mentioned in 3 historical sources: the Anglo-Saxon Chronicle, a vast collection of chronological entries covering events of major importance, of which one page is pictured here. The Life of King Alfred, created by Asa, a Welsh monk who joined the entourage of Alfred in 885 CE. And finally the so-called Law of Treaty of Alfred and Guthrum. Therefore, there is very little doubt about the accuracy of his narrative. That said, since the aim of such texts was not to share the truth behind the selected events, but to contribute to the making of an exemplary Christian king, it helps to be cautious and critical. After all of his historical documents were demanded and sponsored by King Alfred the Great during his reign. I just thought the same reading this, obviously all of these people have been invited to feast with Alfred, to be at his table, after being defeated by Alfred or being under his service. And they would then create like different historical sources, but all, being under the same circumstances of being in Alfred's care or, under his besiegement. So it would make sense that these historical sources would align, but also would maybe be a bit biased towards Alfred. That's the whole thing with Valhalla, and it's kind of like a historical take on Vikings, right? It's not like entirely what the historical sources say, but it's also because the historical sources are very one-sided, especially through the Christian church. So obviously we didn't have a too positive outlook on the Vikings. The Vikings of course still pillaged and raided and all that type of stuff, and they did burn a whole lot of villages. But that's of course not the full picture. But it's funny because you never played that one, only ever played the first. Aha, I gotcha. Yeah, the first was amazing. I love the kind of like shaman, priest or whatever would say like, oh yo 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 or something. And you could like kind of make people become your units. Like you could kind of like convert them to your faction. Dude, those guys were so powerful. Just make an army of those and take over everything. I had forgotten about that. Yeah, dude, they're so amazing. Like if I get to replay Age of Empires, I'm definitely gonna recruit those. That's for sure. You beat me there. Thank you, Rod, for taking care of it. That creates a great opening for adding fictional elements. Exactly, dude. You can definitely tell that they want to keep it historically accurate, immersive, but at the same time, kind of like also, of course, fill the gaps that may be there, or kind of like question historical sources that you can look at critical. And yeah, I don't really think there's a big disconnect between the Discovery Tour and Valhalla so far, with how they kind of like talk about where they took creative liberties as well. I can't say the same about Odyssey though. I think there's quite a big disconnect. Trust and oath-keeping. Oaths relied on trust, but it was hard for Christians to see heathens as trustworthy. If the Vikings swore on a sacred object, as could have served this bow, they couldn't be trusted to abide by that oath because they did not share the Christian faith. On the other hand, if they were allowed to swear on their own sacred objects, like a ring for example, they also would be committed to a false pagan god that Christians referred to as demons. So the best way to trust each other, especially from a Christian point of view, was to share a common sacred reference. Therefore, conversion and baptism of the defeated heathens was the best guarantee for the creation of this common ground, and the condition for mutual trust. This was exactly what happened to Guthrum and his men after their defeat. In order for Guthrum's oath to Alfred to be considered valid, he first needed to convert to Christianity. And yeah, that was like a pretty big deal happening. Unfortunately, it's not shown in the main game, but at least it's in the Discovery Tour. Hold on, I have to be still in here, and I have to take the relic with me.
The messenger before Guthrum changes his mind.
Okay. I have to say I'm actually impressed with the Discovery Tour of Valhalla. Like I like that they changed it up a bit more to like a story, because it really is a nice balance between like kind of like watching something, but also doing a bit of research yourself if you're interested for that extra information. The Assassin's Artillery. Sword, bow and axe. Why choose when you can have them all?
200 unique weapon models were designed for AC Valhalla. After thorough historical research, modelling artists had the difficult task of designing realistic but spectacular weapons. Talk about a brain twister. Well, that's a good name for a weapon, actually. The flail was also added to the arsenal as a unique form of weaponry, even though flails weren't used by soldiers in battle but by peasants during harvest. To enjoy these weapons even more, new fighting styles were created. Players can now fight with a weapon in each hand, the dual wielding, or hit foes with their shield, sort of like a dual shielding.
Yeah, dude, I thought the same. Like Brain Twister is actually a nice name for a weapon. It could definitely fit to a flail or something. Also, that's funny that the flails are actually used in harvest, not in battle, at least historically. And a lot of these X designs. Also, this is one of the store flails. It's called the Hackbite. It actually has like poison effect or something, which is explained by this being kind of like a poisonous plant attached to it. Looks a bit silly, but I do have it. This one I think you get pretty early in Norway. And this is another one you get during the main game, I'm quite sure. Wait, is there like another? There's another behind the scenes. Use protection. Be strong's defense is swift and decisive offense.
Shields played an important role in the Viking and Anglo-Saxon fighting techniques, and in AC Valhalla as well. used in the game to differentiate clans and factions. Each one has its own shape, paint model, colour pattern, and emblem. A new gameplay element was also added, the shield degradation. With each hit, an enemy's shield loses a piece until it's destroyed, and players can also now attack using their shields. Little known fact, it was common for vendors to walk around the battlefield, supplying clients with replacement shields and weapons. What can we say? Vikings were resourceful, though it's not a job I would have wanted.
You'd imagine though, as like a battlefield, people are killing each other and you're just running around there selling like weapons in case they lose theirs or it gets destroyed or something. Oh boy. Catch-up, coming in with a rate of 23. How's it going, everybody? I hope you had a great stream today with some Red Dead Redemption 2. Welcome in. Hey there, Vanity Saven, Maxi, Kylas, Says. Also, hey there, Blatida. Hey there, Levy. Welcome in, everybody. We're just currently doing some discovery tour for Valhalla. We're currently playing a monk, actually, who's been captured by a Viking. So not the best scenario, but yeah. Learning some nice stuff about Valhalla today.
Tight, yeah!
Also, hey, Kara. Welcome in as well.
Hey, Crookie, let's do this. Crook 1 Lil, Crook 1 Awkward Jesse, Crook 1 Lil.
Love the Awkward Jesse catch up. Thank you so much for the 16 months of resubbing. And the raid, dude. Very, very kind. Thank you very much. And yeah, that scene. I had to smirk a little bit when I read your message on Discord that you have, seen that scene today. Where he's doing like the awkward face. What a scene that is. It definitely embraces that awkwardness. And yeah, for anybody that didn't just come with a raid, I'm sure most of everybody here knows Ketchup already. But he's an excellent streamer. He's currently actually doing a challenge where he's trying to get through a couple dozen games until the end of the year. Currently he has like 9 left or so. And yeah, he's just about to finish Red Dead Redemption 2, if you haven't already today. And then he's still going to be playing Ghost of Tsushima, I think Outlast, Mafia 3 and loads of others. So yeah, if you're looking to watch that challenge happening, definitely catch his channel in the chat there. Yeah, the tight Kylas. I swear Tuco's like one of my favorite characters in Breaking Bad in the universe. He's just really stealing the scene whenever he's in it. Ah, I gotcha. Yeah. So how are you liking, I reckon you're in the second part now of the epilogue, I think? Have you been enjoying kind of like John doing his own thing? Like, you know, going to that, actually was lurking on you earlier when you did that mission where you obtained the house, the land, from the guys that were actually like, you know, staying there. Yeah, he is nuts. He's like the definition of insanity, as the voice actor for Nacho would say, or the actor, I guess. But yeah, Nacho is another great character. To be fair, there's like so many great characters in, you know, the universe of Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul that it's difficult for me to choose like a favorite. But Jesse is definitely up there as like my favorite character, probably. And then I really like, of course, Nacho, Tuco, Mike, Saul. Like, there's so many good characters. It's been a really interesting change of pace, and you love the parallels to the first game, even though you had a suspicion that might be what happens. It's definitely kind of what is tying, you know, the first game and the second game together. It's also great seeing, you know, the influence that Arthur still has on John, I think. But yeah, just amazingly done, dude. Like, I can't wait to play that game, or both games really. I've just played them, you know, a couple months back.
It is King Alfred who must claim this great victory, though of course God strengthens his hand. Brother Aelrich, I was told to wait on you. King Alfred desires to see you at once.
And let us not keep the good king waiting. What news in Winchester since Christmas?
Military organization. Before the reign of King Alfred, there were many ways to summon soldiers to battle. Each king essentially had a private army, but collecting everyone took time, meaning they were often slow to respond to Viking attacks. Aristocrats could gather their kin to fight, or use a levy to conscript commoners into their ranks. But the latter was especially slow. During the Viking invasions era, the Scandinavian band could plunder the countryside of a region before a noble could assemble his troops. The creation of a more stable military force suggested and implemented by Alfred ensured a quicker reaction to Viking raids. The common conception of a king going to war surrounded by his loyal lords is somewhat misleading. Although the king did call upon his men to fight, it seems that each of the lords or vanes led their own armies, rather than placing them under the command of a king. Which kind of like symbolizes the influence that the vanes actually had, you know. Because even though they were fighting for the king, Alfred in this case, they still had like their own, you know, command. Okay, I think that's everything.
But the battle at Eddington was won, and soon the countryside will be free for all good Wessex men to till and plough as before.
For so many years of war, the land seems all but untouched.
Yea, nature's beauty has taken not nearly so hard a beating as we have.
It's a pleasure to see it again as a free man.
Welcome back, Levy. Hope the kitchen cleaning went well. And speaking of kitchen, I probably have to step back here for a sec in a few. And actually take care of the bolognese. Just to make sure it doesn't thicken too much. The struggle of streaming and cooking at the same time. The Battle of Eddington. A key event in English history was the Battle of Eddington. There King Alfred of Wessex led his men against those of Guthrum, a strong Viking chieftain whose men had dwelt in and plundered the West Saxons' land for several years. In this map, each solid arrow represents an advance, while the dashed arrow shows retreats. So in red we have Alfred's forces, and in blue we have Guthrum's forces. Each number corresponds to a specific event. So we have a first here. That's January 878. King Alfred and his men were chased from Chippenham by Guthrum's army. They were forced to retreat to the marshes of Athenry, where they built fortifications to protect themselves. Then we have 2. In the first week of May 878, Alfred secretly caught a levy at Egbertstone. A courtier levy, apparently. Men from neighboring counties answered and joined the king and his retinue. And hey there, Nathaniel. Welcome in, bro. How's it going? Yeah, look here. Alfred secretly caught a levy. Talking about you. Okay, so we have 3. Guthrum, informed of a gathering of a third English militia, readied his troops to intercept the coming enemy and moved to the ancient fortifications of Bretton Camp, south of Chippenham. Then we have 4 over here. The 12th of May, the 2 armies met in battle on the fields of Eddington. Then that same day, the Anglo-Saxons routed the Vikings. Guthrum fled, retreating to Chippenham. This defeat marked the end of the reign as a Viking chieftain. People who enjoy fantasy novels and movies might be interested to learn that this whole narrative was very probably a source of inspiration for J.R.R. Tolkien in The Lord of the Rings. That's interesting. You know, now that I mentioned Lord of the Rings, these maps actually remind me a bit of the maps that you can see in the movies.
News of the king. How does he celebrate his triumph?
With more plans and late-night discussions. I've never seen a man smile so little when reporting such a great victory.
He's right to be wary. Guthrum is not tamed yet.
If you say so. His ferocity seemed to be at an ebb when I delivered King Alfred's terms.
I pray you are right. It would be well if we are done with war for his sake and ours.
I'll drink to that, brother.
Oh, I think we have Stonehenge here. Or one Stonehenge at least. The megalith is a massive prehistoric stone used in a monument. Megaliths likely played a role in the religious rites of ancient societies. Megalithic monuments, including stone circuits, can be found throughout the world. In England, there are a number of standing stones arranged in a circle. Sometimes the megaliths stand alone, sometimes in pairs and topped with a stone roof or lid. Avebury is home to one of the biggest stone circuits in the world. It has a diameter of 331.6 meters and was built during the 4th millennium BCE. The Avebury monument features a large henge, a raised ring of earth, a big outer stone circle, and 2 smaller inner circles at its center. So this is one of the megaliths forming the Great Circle of Avebury's monument. Yeah, I wouldn't mind seeing some more than Stonehenge once we get to England. I think we're approaching Winchester here. Anglo-Scandinavian farming. As the Scandinavians occupied territories in Anglo-Saxon Britain, their population grew. This growth in the number of people was matched by a rise in agricultural production. The growing population meant a growing need for prime materials, crops and livestock that could be used for food, clothing, trade and taxes. Scandinavian settlers likely grew 4 types of cereals: wheat, whose flour made coarse bread, barley for brewing beer, rye and oats to feed both humans and animals. They also grew legumes and herbs like dill and coriander for spicing and seasoning. They cultivated flax and hemp to make textiles for clothing and trading. The Scandinavians' use of livestock was not much different from that of the Anglo-Saxons. For both groups, cattle provided milk and meat, and oxen were used to plough fields, as seen in this manuscript illustration. Over is whatsoever, Rod. You have a good night, dude. Thank you so much for dropping by and saying hello, and also for the host earlier.
Here's the tomb of Osiris, motionless, motionless like Osiris, motionless, his limbs like Osiris.
Indeed, it's time to stay motionless like Osiris. I hope you enjoy your sleep, Rod. And for those who haven't checked out Rod yet, definitely do so. We have a double shout out there in chat for anybody that missed the first one. He's a really big fan of Assassin's Creed as well. Currently playing through Valhalla over weekends. And Vanny's also playing Revelations currently, doing a 10-year celebration of that game. He's also playing everything else from Tomb Raider to horror games and lots of others. So yeah, definitely check him out if you haven't yet. Yeah, no worries, dude. More than happy for the shout out. And yeah, we'll catch you next time, dude. The humble abode. Castles designed to be invaded.
The castles of England were meant to be seen from afar by anyone seeking refuge. Except rulers didn't really account for their castles also attracting Vikings. All fortified areas in AC Valhalla were inspired by the castles the development team visited while in England. Portchester, Derby, Goodrich, Housesteads, the Roman fort at Hadrian's Wall. They nearly bankrupted the project just in the gift shops alone. The Castell Trefaldwyn in Wales inspired the fictional Corstow Castle, a fort in the Shropshire region. In AC Valhalla, castles are a telltale sign of great bounty to collect during raids, and lords will often retreat behind a castle's protective walls when fleeing from Eivor. Oh, they can run, but they can't hide. Well, I mean, they can hide, but, you know, Eivor will still get them.
True that. Odin's side takes care of that one.
King Alfred awaits you inside.
Thank you for ensuring my safe return. Alfred will be waiting on my return.
What was a king? The Anglo-Saxon word for king was kyning, the foremost member of a group who represented and symbolized all his kin, family, clan, or tribe. And at first, Anglo-Saxon kings didn't rule over territory, but a constellation of social groups. The notion of king in the early Middle Ages differed from one region to the next. One factor that determined the nature of kingship in a given territory was the size of the royal domain. Kingdoms of Britain such as Mercia or East Anglia were much smaller than those in continental Europe. For example, the Frankish dominion covered much of present-day France, Germany, and Italy, whereas Alfred's Wessex only extended from the River Thames to the southern England. While a Frankish ruler could not visit all of his kingdom, nor could they meet and feast with all of the important people in it. Anglo-Saxon kings like Alfred and Guthrum could. This made it easier for an Anglo-Saxon or Scandinavian king to treat his whole kingdom and everyone in it as his kin. That being said, this sense of familiarity, the social bond, did not mean there was no hierarchical distinction between the king and the subjects. The king was still first and foremost a king. Here's an ingenious depiction of a royal couple as a chess pieces. A king and queen replica of a Lewis chessman pieces, made from walrus ivory and war teeth. Checkmate. Waging a war is much like playing a game of chess.
AC Valhalla is set during a very tense political climate. English kingdoms were fighting one another, as well as trying to ward off Viking attacks at the same time. Hence, maps are displayed in the game as battle plans. To help players visualize friends and foes, chess pieces were designed. The 3D modeling team first created items inspired by an early Scandinavian chess set, the Njevertapel, which was combined with the Lewis chess pieces. Recently found in Scotland, they were crafted out of walrus tusk and whale teeth in the 12th century. This design merged English and Scandinavian heritage into a unique item.
Yeah, no worries, Levi. You take care. Hope you enjoy the look. And yeah, I see you very soon. Give me actually also a sec, guys. I'm gonna check out my Bolognese real quick. Alright, I'm back. Looking good, the Bolognese for this. So I think it's gonna turn out quite delicious, actually. The Witan. In Anglo-Saxon Britain, it was expected that kings and queens would be counseled by a group of powerful nobles, the Witan. The Witan, or wise men, would gather in an assembly, also called Gemo, to advise the ruler on their decisions. The Witan was made up of aristocrats both from secular and religious backgrounds. There were noblemen and archbishops, aldermen and abbots. Depicted in this illustration as the ruler's side, the Witan acted as his counselors. Their advice was meant to ensure that the ruler's laws were just and worthy. The presence of a Witan meant that lawmaking was a group activity. As with any group project, the better the team worked together, the better the final product. If the king and the Witan had a difficult relationship, the system could break down. For while the king could summon the Witan could also summon the king. If the king was ignoring the Witan and their advice, the Witan might challenge his laws. The king and the Witan needed to find a healthy balance of power between them, so that laws could be passed quickly and efficiently. And here we have a painted miniature of a ruler, sitting adjusted with his counselors around him, from the Old English Hexatoik. Oh, we unlocked Odin as a character. That's pretty sick. Yeah, I wanna focus on the main quest now though, because I still wanna do a bit of Valhalla main game, at least for like an hour or something. It's gonna be a pretty short stream today, like 2 hours total, a bit more maybe. But yeah. Also wanted to do a bit of Discovery Tour and finish where we started yesterday.
Brother Elrich, you are returned to me at last. By God's grace, it is so. And by mine. I was the one who included your safe passage in the terms of Guthrum's surrender.
Then I am grateful to you as well, my lord.
And you have returned with the relic of Ely. I was ready to chase the Danes to recover it, but I see you have the matter well in hand.
With Guthrum's aid, yes.
You speak kindly of him. Even after so many months as his captive? Truly, you exemplify Christ's grace. Now come, we have a baptism to plan.
Three weeks later.
The baptism will soon begin.
The gift of East Anglia. Among the political and social consequences of Guthrum's baptism was his ascension to royalty, for Alfred gave him East Anglia. While it was an act of great generosity, Alfred's decision was politically motivated. By legitimizing Guthrum's right to rule, Alfred encouraged him to respect his oath. In addition, with Guthrum as a Christian ally in East Anglia, Alfred created a territorial buffer to prevent future Scandinavian raiding parties from heading back up the River Thames into Wessex. However, there was a problem. East Anglia was not Alfred's to give. He had never ruled over nor conquered that independent kingdom, yet neither had his ancestors. In other words, Alfred lost no territory by gifting Guthrum a land that was not his. Moreover, he secured his own possessions and allowed his new and indebted ally to stabilize a region that had been in turmoil since the death of its last king, Saint Edmund, who was killed by Vikings in 869. This map shows the territorial separation of early medieval Britain before the treaty between Alfred and Guthrum. In green, the lands that were under the control of Alfred, which corresponded to the kingdoms of Mercia and Wessex. So Mercia up here, and Wessex down to the south. In red, the area that was not under the control of Alfred, including the kingdom of East Anglia, which is over here. Ooh, nice. Bit of a special view here. I like it.
To have you come in peace to our city at last fills my heart with joy.
You seem well, Elrich. Freedom agrees with you.
As a life in the service of Christ will agree with you.
Indeed. Let us delay this happy occasion no longer.
Never thought I would enjoy playing a monk as much. Yeah, the story is actually really good. I think it's great how you're playing like all these different characters from the time. Like from being a Viking to being a monk. Baptism and victory. King Alfred had won an important battle at Eddington. However, it was his tactics after the battle that showed his political genius. By having Guthrum, his vanquished enemy, baptized, Alfred cemented a lasting victory. By having Guthrum baptized, Alfred forced his old foe to conform to the spiritual system that Alfred followed, Christianity. Alfred used that system to his advantage. He cunningly shows himself to be Guthrum's godfather. By making himself Guthrum's spiritual guide, Alfred created ties to be a symbolic kinship between them. Yeah, sorry about those noises, but my sister is actually using the vacuum cleaner right now. Should be better in a sec here. However, baptism had political benefits for Guthrum as well. Being Alfred's godson gave him the status of respected Christian leader. Guthrum was made the king of East Anglia, a member of a small selected circle of Anglo-Saxon monarchs. Guthrum's transformation as a Christian ruler was a political win for both the Viking and his godfather Alfred. This illustration depicts an idealized baptism scene from an epic poem, the Chanson de Aspremont, popular in later medieval England. It imagines the baptism of a character named Balan, an Iberian royal messenger at the court of Emperor Charlemagne.
Si igita vis ad vitam ingredi, serva mandatum. Diligus dominum diem tuum ex toto cortu, et ex toto animatua, et ex totement tua, et proximum tuum sicut typsum.
Amen.
That Latin was horrible.
Crucis tam in front, quam in cord, sum fidem plastium preceptorum, et talis esto moribus, ab tempum Deum es possis.
Amen.
Amen.
It's actually one of the worst. A very rich, safe return with the relic from the Eye of Eli gives new support to Alfred's political ambitions. With Guthrum now baptized, the stage is set for a new era of peace and prosperity between the two Christian kings. But yeah, that was actually one of the worst Latin pronunciations I heard in a long time. I mean, I only remember like a little bit from, you know, having it in school. But, yeah, that's like one of the first things you learn, you know, like how to pronounce words. And he butchered it entirely. It's really strong, you know, English accent. Okay, so we just unlocked the early medieval tattoo set for finishing this mission. Adorn your body with these beautiful golden tattoos depicting stylized creatures inspired by early medieval art. This set includes head, chest, back, left and right arm pieces. Nice. Okay, let's uncheck everything in here. And over here we have also read everything. Okay, so we're definitely like 2/3 through the discovery tour at this point, I would say. About 60 learning entries left, 6 behind the scenes, and 2 Valhalla rewards to earn. Also got a new character, Odin. As the mightiest god of all, Odin seeks exemption from any binding fate. Nice. Damn, that cloak though. That's a long one, holy shit. Physics also a bit weird. As he's more supposed to walk than run. Yeah, this is where we save for the discovery tour, because now that we have finished the next story arc within it, we're gonna go back to the main game. And I still have like another hour left or so, and we're gonna be starting the Jotunheim arc in that time. So I just gotta restart the game real quick, and then we head into that. I'm actually quite looking forward to the Jotunheim arc, because I think it really fits after both the Vinland saga, but also after the DLCs, because the dreams are all about understanding the ESO time, right? And kind of like understanding the difference between the mythological view and what really happened. So with Eivor still believing, you know, in Odin being like a Norse god and all that type of stuff, and Valhalla, in the DLCs, playing the dream sequence after makes sense for kind of like this eye-opening effect, I guess. It doesn't fully unleash until, you know, the very end of the game. But yeah. I think I'm gonna do that like this going forward as well, like play the DLCs between the main game story arcs. Okay, so where am I here actually? Alright, I've tried the other mastery challenge yesterday. But yeah, I'm not gonna do it today though. For now I wanna go back to Ravensthorpe. Then I'm actually gonna change my look for Eivor. So kind of like the classic look to kind of fit more with how Harvey looked during that time. And yeah, we're gonna start the Jotunheim dream. So I'm actually gonna fanboy a little bit about the Jotunheim arc because of like all the references it's gonna make to like the Ezio games as well, and like, you know, the Isu that have been established there. Because Jotunheim and Valhalla is literally like you know, where the Roman Isu have lived essentially. Obviously, what you see in the dream is kind of like the mythological lens that Eivor has. But if you can look a bit behind the curtain, you know, then you see very clearly who is Juno, for instance, you know, and stuff like that.
It's a good day for fishing.
Okay, let's go to the barbershop here. So primary, we're gonna go for classic hair. And the beard, we could keep the beard actually. Kinda dig this one. I've really used the exotic beard for most of the game, but now that we have been in Vinland, I thought like, you know, yeah, with that long voyage, I might as well, you know, like give him the longest beard ever.
Finished?
I must be on my way now. Goodbye.
Goodbye, Eivor.
Right, and then it's time to go to Valka.
I have the plant you asked for. It took some effort.
Good, good. Thank you, Eivor. Here you are. And be careful. This brew will feel as cold as ice on your lips, yet will burn like a fire in your belly.
So like very high percentage alcohol. It's like in the freezer.
Jotunheimer. I've not set foot in this realm in some time. I must find the witch Angreboda. She knows all that happens here.
Witch Angreboda. Let's remember that name because it's gonna be very important. I think it's Juno, but I might also mistaking it for Alethea. But both of them appear. And of course you have the Tree of Life here, Yggdrasil, which is kind of like supposed to reach into every realm, and this being like a different one, you know. It's like leading to a different route of a tree. Can I go inside here? Thank you.
Pay respect to the mistresses of the feast. Be welcome, Messire. Our father's hall is a haven to all.
I remember there was a cauldron here once, brought by Thor from Hemia's Hall.
A cauldron a mile deep, a mile of mead. I miss that cauldron. Father bet the cauldron on a foolish wager with Suttinger and lost. But we still have the ale from our brewery.
Where's Agir now?
He's gone to Utgavr. He sent a cauldron to Sutgungur, but it never got there, so he's gone to find out what's what. Oh, but enough of that. You are a visitor to our great land, and we know its secrets. Ask of us your questions.
Yeah, tell me about mysteries.
I want to know the unknown. Where should I look?
There is a broken tower near Utgavr that was once a place of great magic. Perhaps there is still some to be found there.
To magic! May we never be without it.
Yeah, we're gonna drink to that, I think. I think we want us to drink as well. I'm not sure, but I think last time we were even supposed to drink every time or something to even finish this questline. So, let's drink.
Skull!
Let us tell you more of our homeland.
What animals will I find in the wild?
I have heard tell of a great bear of stone and ice that lives by a frozen lake.
Enough talk. Time for a drink.
Skull!
Let us tell you more of our homeland.
Spin me a tale of tragedy.
Once, Thor dashed the great serpent Jormungandr against our shores. Many ships wrecked, many Jotnar drowned.
Seek a lonely tree of the shore and walk beneath it. You'll see. Now let us drink to the fallen.
Skull!
You don't look well. Is our ale taking a toll on you?
Just a little bit.
Tastes like a boar shed in my mouth. Where am I? I should find out what I did while ale-addled. My mind is blank.
Like a boar shit in his mouth.
Rife with wine and vomit. These are Thrall's clothes. Where did they come from?
Yeah, exactly, Morla. Welcome in, dude. I hope you have a nice day so far. Oh shit. Key here to open this one. Where's the key? That's good to hear, Mola. Yeah, currently late afternoon over here. It's going quite well. Had a nice day so far. Only have a bit of time for Valhalla today. Like gonna be going for another 50 minutes or so, and then we call it. But yeah, it's been really fun. Did some discovery tour learning about the siege of Chippenham and offered converting Guthrum from you know, his Viking Norse beliefs to Christianity. And now we're currently in Jotunheim with a second mythological dream in Valhalla, which is also very, very interesting. So am I supposed to investigate this?
King Snorrington, the boar. Once a prisoner, now free. I think we even made up a song about it.
Okay. Let's go over here.
Well, hello there. You turned out to have quite a head for heights.
Did I now? Oh, there's the key. Maybe that's the key I need for the chest.
To the mighty rivers of the Ale Sea! The mice in the brewery still tell tales of last night's voyage.
I think we gotta take a dive here.
Were we trying to sail somewhere? Across the Ale Sea to the land of... I can't recall it.
So it's basically full of meat right here, and I have to dive in it. It's like Kendrick Lamar's song, Swimming Pools. It's kind of like critically talking about people literally swimming in pools of like alcohol. Okay, we're really drunk. Is that everything I have to do here? I think so. Let's go back to this AC and see if we can get the chests. Oops, sorry. Very nice. Okay, so we're still trying to finish this quest. Okay, let's go back to the meat place. Oh, there's also something up here. What happened there? Okay, I definitely have to keep on going up here, I reckon. Was like something else in here that I may have missed? It's like beneath this one. Okay, I was really drunk right now. Yeah, I don't get it.
These woods whisper with Jotnar magic. Not everything is as it seems.
So there are kind of like places where you can change the way something looks like, because some things are actually an illusion, which is very fitting for, of course, the Roman issue, because they use illusions quite a lot of a piece of Eden. Okay, I think I'm just gonna try to get it at a later point. I don't get it right now, like what we're supposed to do here. Let's find Angre Oda. It's really looking forward to see here.
The scene of a wedding, hidden from outside eyes. Who was it meant for?
I need the key. Wedding speech. We're gathered here out of the sight of God and men and giants to celebrate the union of Aesir and Jotnar. Though our people be at war, script it out. Our people don't always see eye to eye, mainly because we're so much taller. Pause for laughter. Script it out. Look, they just love each other, alright, can't we all just get off their backs? Script it out. Who thought it was a good idea to let me write this? Vulgar doo-doods. I wonder if this is maybe talking about Loki and Alethea. Maybe. Or maybe Loki's parents or something. Okay, so where's this key? Over there. Oh no. Wedding celebration. There we go. Hold on, I need 2 keys, yeah?
Show me what lies ahead.
Where's the other key then?
Angrabotha's home was right here when I last visited. It may still be. Illusions. But any obstacle can be overcome if looked at the right way. The witch's house. There you are.
I really like this because it reminds me a whole lot of Hellblade. Because Hellblade had a similar way of kind of like creating illusions and you uncovering how things really look like.
This guard is no crucible for your experiments. No, indeed. It is as a great barn, swollen with vermin, bulging at the gables. You underestimate the humans. You always did. When the end comes, they will outlive us. They are mindless ravagers who will destroy us and inherit the Nine Realms. I cannot allow that. They are capable of more than you know, and I will not help you bring about their ruin. Then you are a fool.
It's really interesting here. So Angrabotha is actually Alethea, Loki's wife, and the one who's kind of like giving, was kind of like guiding Layla in Odyssey. And Hyrrokin, or whatever her name is, that's actually Juno. So now you might ask, why do I have like different names? But that's of course because Eivor sees this as Jotunheim through his mythological lens. And they have these names, but in, actual ISO times they're called differently, and this will also look completely different. But the story is still like the same, right? So just like this lens that you see it through, but you have to look past what is on the surface, I guess, and really focus on the story and dialogue, and that will tell you what really happened. So here you kind of like saw that Alethea is very much speaking in favor of the humans and saying to Juno that she's underestimating them. But at this point, of course, the subjects to the issue. But Juno, because of what happens in AC3, like what she tells us, and Black Flag, is kind of that the humans have been at war with the Isu, but the Isu also between the Isu. And they led ultimately to the death of Juno's father. So she has ever been, fighting against the humans and really has been wishing their demise, really. Which is also why she's so manipulative of like all the humans that she comes in contact with, like from Desmond to Connor. And yeah, let's have a look what they have to say here. It's kind of funny, when I first played this I didn't realize this at all, at this point at least. I did later, but at this point I had like no idea.
Please enter. Do not trouble to knock or announce yourself.
Angrabotha, I have traveled far to find you.
And you are brave to darken my door alone. Where is my lover, the dark fox that slinks between my sheets?
Loki stayed at home. Well, we did argue. Let's be truthful here.
Our parting was bitter. He has made many enemies among the gods.
My Loki. He's an acquired taste. One that can soon turn sour.
I am not Loki's keeper. I've come to understand Jotnar magic, your method for moving Hugr from one body to another.
The mead. You seek the mead. Hyrrokin! You have long outstayed your welcome.
Then I will take my leave. But remember what I said, Angrabotha. You will see things my way in time.
Goodbye, Juno. Who was it? Yeah, let's ask what she says, who that was.
Who was your visitor?
She's powerful and cruel, and none of your concern.
The mead she spoke of. Where can I find it?
A slip of the tongue. Forget what you heard.
Do not play games with me, witch. You would sell any truth for the right price.
If one had the means to pay it. There is a root called Hag's Claw. It grows at the bottom of a waterfall to the south,
at the forest's edge. Bring me 3 roots from the place where the red moss thrives. Then we will speak of the mead.
I will hold you to it.
Alright. Let's do it then. However, kind of curious, is like anything inside this place? What's up here? Okay, there's a key up there. Maybe there's some documents or something. Okay, where's the chest? But we need the key first. Note. How I scream when I work on them, the ones that visit me. Cries no physical pain could ever evoke. If only I could console them, the white heat will cleanse you, the burning scout you clean, and what is left of purity. What torture it is to see oneself stripped of illusion, to know your depths and heights, to know yourself squalid, insignificant, wretched. Truth is hard to bear, but I will make them face it. They will all see in the end. That's kind of interesting, but Angrboda is apparently trying, like Alethea in this case, is trying to make humans see past the illusions, right? Because at this point a lot of humans are controlled by pieces of Eden, and especially the Apple of Eden, which of course is a mind-controlling device. And what it does is basically it gives you the vision that you know, what you wish for the most. Like, you know, for example, if you wish to be like in a place where, you know, you're being treated by, you know, 99 virgins, and you have like everything to eat and drink that you want, that would be the, what like happen in your vision, and you would submit to anything while you're in that vision. What Angrboda does is she kind of like gets rid of that, lets humans see what they're really like, you know. But not necessarily to free them, apparently, here, but to actually torture them, you know, to make them realize that what they've seen is wrong, and that they're actually, like, worth nothing, really. So in a way, it's really, like, sadistic, what Alethea does here. I think we have gotten everything in this place. So personally I actually prefer the Jotunheim story arc to Asgard. I do think Asgard is also really well done. But I really like the snowy environments. Then of course a lot of references to the Roman Isu here that you have.
I feel great.
is another illusion here.
The waterfall should be nearby, but I see no sign of it.
Yep.
If I look about, I may yet find a way to see the unseen.
Let's see then. Let's see the unseen.
This land hides its secrets well, but no secret is safe from me.
An ancient engraving. In ages past. This time placed at sea. Children thrice before brought mewling, spitting to life. Worm's fang, wolf's claw. Ye half that one, fair and putrid in equal parts. One to strangle, one to swallow, one to keep ashamed. There it is. And I love this whole illusion part, I have to say.
Anglo-Saxon said to look where the red moss grows. A cavern beneath the lake. This land is savage, but full of marvels.
Savage.
Thor's beard. Look at this place. Yggdrasil's great tendrils reach everywhere in this realm. That must be the hag's claw Engerborn I spoke of. A pungent root. It must be hag's claw. There should be more around.
Right, let's have a look.
Yeah, smells strange down here. One more root should do it.
Tripakovo.
Where are those cursed roots?
Okay, so we can't see the last one currently with Odin's sight, so we just have to look around a little bit. Let's go up here. Haven't been there yet.
Enough for anger, Borda. I should find my way out.
Yeah, there we actually have a treasure, but it might not be in this location. Or maybe it is.
The reek from this root turns my stomach.
Better to run away. Quenhold. If you make it this far, I've left you a little something to pay your way to Asgard. I pray that you make it. I pray that I do. Freedom or death. The keys to the chest are hidden nearby, you need both to open it. I've been searching every foot of this place, but these Jötnar are so damn tall, I never think to look up. See you on the other side, I hope. Gwendolyn. That's probably one of the humans actually trying to escape here. Gwendolen and Quenhood. Okay, so there's actually a key in the van. Thank you. Okay, I need the second key here apparently. Where's the second key then?
Aid me. Be my eyes.
There. Alrighty. Oh, that's a nice picture. Within the place I have just been in. Okay, let's go to the main quest here. Are these wolves also like an illusion? Official notice. Beware of pale skins, acid spies are everywhere, and they move on soft feet. Hear them on sight, report any sightings to your lord. Oh. So that would explain why I'm getting attacked by Utens at some point. Like these guys. The double flip. Device is locked off. That's not supposed to be, I don't think.
I have done as you asked. Now, where's my wisdom?
Give it a moment to brew. There. An elixir to ready your spirit.
How will this bring me the mead?
It will open your mind to the secrets of the world. While we wait, let us speak of Asgard. How fared your defenses after the last attack?
Did she just give us like a truth serum or something? Yeah, she's definitely trying to find out about our weaknesses, and we probably can't do anything against it.
We have been weakened by treachery. Without time to rebuild, we may not withstand another attack. Wait, I did not mean to say that. I feel strange.
Hexclaw has a way of untying the tongue. Now, you have said you want the mead, but how badly? How much would you sacrifice to be freed of fate's shackles? Would you give your tongue, your hand, your sight?
I do not fear my fate. And you're dead? Yeah, very soon. Harvey aka Odin is gonna be. At least temporarily.
I would give all that, and more.
I would like to see that.
Loki, what trickery is this?
I have sapped your strength, Havi. And I will take your life if your answers displease me.
Did you think I would not come for you? After what you did to my son?
Our son. Fenrir. A name I think you have heard before.
Yes. In the final reckoning, the wolf Fenrir will be my doom.
Now you know. Now you can no longer deceive. Tell me, what will you do with him?
That's amazing. 3 choices, all of them very different from each other. You should make this as like a meme for the AC Odyssey choice system or something.
I want to kill him. But I cannot. I swore an oath to you, Loki, and I will not break it. I will not take his life. Fenrir will be imprisoned until the day of prophecy, when we will meet upon the field of battle, as we are fated to.
Then we will bind you until that day, as you mean to bind our son.
An eye for an eye.
I see she let you live. You must have done something right. Let me help you down from there.
No! No! Wait!
that's quite a slide here. Alright, Juno, what do you have to say to us? Other than, you know, you're manipulative. Just as manipulative as Alethea.
You could have let me down gently.
That would presume I cared for your comfort.
Then why release me at all?
For the same reason you are in Jotunheim. You seek the mead, and I can help you get it.
I assume there's a price.
I want a small sample for myself. The rest is yours. Fair?
Do I have a choice?
Of course you do not. The mead is kept by Suttungr and his daughter Gunnlóðr in the vault at their home in Utgardr. The vault is opened only on occasion of a great feast, when Suttungr shares the bounty of his cellar.
And it would be a poor host who did not throw a feast for a distinguished visitor. Say, the High One of Asgard.
You are not as ox-witted as I feared.
Ox-witted? So yeah, Suttungr is actually Jupiter, and Gunnlóðr is Minerva. I was gonna say that now already, but I'm gonna mention it later when we get to meet them as well. So yeah, obviously, the reason Juno's trying to get the meat, right? Like, the meat is supposed to be another way of survival. At least in the mythology. And she's trying to get it for her husband, of course. Which is Aita, sage, or I guess Isu. It also got to get this form of, you know, survival. And through the meat in mythology and, I guess, Yggdrasil in like actual lore, you know, he also managed to survive by becoming a sage, essentially, which means he's getting reborn in the form of a human body, and kind of like being a host of a human in a way, as a means of survival. And yeah, by Juno getting the meat from Odin here, she's kind of like securing that happens.
Why do you want the mead?
My motives are not your business, as yours are not mine. All you need to do is get it.
I must bring a mighty gift to Suttungr, if I am to earn my welcome.
That idiot drunkard Agir recently lost his cauldron to Suttungr in a wager, but it disappeared on the way to Utgardr.
Suttungr would be grateful indeed if I returned that cauldron to him.
Seek the tree that wears the scars of the world's serpent scales. The cauldron would have passed by there. You might also bring a gift for Gunnlóðr. There are treasures that would flatter her in Thrimmer's house by the lake near Utgardr.
I will bear that in mind.
When you have the mead, join me at the Well of Mimir. There I will show you how to escape your doom at Ragnarok.
Should I search for the cauldron now, or head for Thrimmer's hall?
Multiple quests accepted. I love to see it. Okay, how about we get this viewpoint first? Here's another official notice. I've read this one before. Serpent's Tree.
Here's the tree Hurricane mentioned. Its bark cut deep by Jormungandr's sharp scales. I should look around for the missing cauldron.
Torn page from a journal. This day we came upon a fascinating sight. Here of old did the gods of the Aesir rest on their return from our realm. In their wake were we free of monstrous form. The the spawn of Lockhew, and the she who tames tongues, a worm, a pup, a child half dead. The worm, though young, was growing before their eyes, so the gods tied it to this tree as they slept. When morning came, they released it and went on the way. This is kind of like the snake skin, I reckon, here. The outside. I assume from Jörmungandr, the word serpent. Note tucked in branches. It's very high up here. Mustn't be afraid. I've watched how the masters change shape. Seen them turn into beasts. Won't they be amazed when they see what I can do? Won't they celebrate when they see I'm like them? I've learned the secret phrases. All I have to do is believe. The words will give me wings. I fly back to my masters as a bird. Time to stop writing now. Time to do it. It is very, very high though. Yeah, no kidding. Probably one of the tallest viewpoints in all of Valhalla.
What do you see? Steel and flesh met here, but Jotnar leave no corpses. This card bears the sign of Agate. Something huge was dragged this way. The ditch was dark so the cart would break a wheel. This was an ambush. If it was Aegir's cauldron they dragged through here, it must be large indeed.
Hey there. You friend or foe?
The trail of destruction leads towards that giant root. They slaughtered that animal for its innards, and used them in their ritual. Likely the thieves employed this magic to hide their loot.
from here then? From there?
The mitten of the great Jotun Skrimir dropped here long ago. Maybe the thieves took their burden inside. Soft moss all around. Hard to imagine this place once fitted a hand. This area is off limits.
So probably need to
the missing cauldron. But how did they get it into this cave?
Oh, that's
not there before.
I'm given.
Hard to know what is real in this realm of illusion.
In here, I assume. Doesn't seem like. Carefully written speech. Over this cauldron we have brought before you is our father Hymir's cauldron. The braggart Thor murdered him at sea and stole it from his hall. Afterwards he gave it to a traitor Aegir, so that he might throw the Aesir as a great gift. For long ages Aegir has entertained the enemy in our land, making merry while our father lies cold in the ocean. But we have long awaited our moment, and that moment has come at last. Aegir the fool wagered away our father's cauldron, and we his sons have seized it. Drink now and raise your horns to our father. Drink now in his memory. Score. So yeah, that would definitely give him a reason to also dislike Odin, given that Odin is the father to Thor, I believe.
Must be a way to reach it.
Thing in your worthless life.
Okay, so the key's up there. Let's get the key.
This cave is home to these Jotnar. They must have fallen far to live in such cheerless squalor. It seems his sons have been hiding here, awaiting their chance to take it back.
Okay, so I guess I can open up this thing now. Can. Okay, so I can't jump from that platform to the other. Let's find another way to get across then. Thief's plan. It seems the chief got word someone was thinking of making off with that cauldron of his. Why else would he have locked it up? When I find out who told him, they'll be wearing a bloody necklace. Still, it's just one lock. He thinks that thing's too big to move, but I know the trick of it. Just a matter of picking my moment. Suttungr better be grateful when I bring it to him in Utgard. Grateful and generous. Like somewhere from here we can change the way things look. Maybe from up here? Guiding us somewhere.
Too big to carry. But things are not always as they seem in Jotunheim. The cauldron has grown smaller. I'm getting the measure of these illusions.
I see.
This cauldron should be enough to win Suttungr's favor. I could go to Utgarda now, but a gift for Gunnlaugur would improve my chances at getting the mead.
Okay. Let's find a way out of here now. Okay, there's actually something up there. Let's get this a bit closer. I can. Maybe I can now like run up the tree or something. Yeah, I can. destination went away. Not like this. I think it would have actually been like a way out, but never mind. Yes, we definitely have to take that way then. Okay, let's go around here again. Or was that way? Okay, now I'm confused as heck again. That was around here, wasn't it? Okay, let's go up here again. And right. These illusions actually definitely confusing me the same way that the Hellblade illusions can confuse me. Okay, this way. Was I supposed to go that way? Dude, I'm actually a bit lost here unless I change it again. Ah, okay, that should be the way. Also, give me just 1 second. Right. So. Seems like it actually saved it this time, maybe? Illusion? No. Let's have a look if the exit is there now. Okay. Good. Right, very nice. But yeah guys, this is where we have to call it for today. I'm out of time unfortunately, so couldn't really do a short Valhalla session. I've done some sort of progress for 2 hours of streaming. Another discovery tour and the start of the Jotunheim arc. So next time we're gonna continue here in Jotunheim and most likely finish everything in here. It's not too big of an area, so yeah, we can definitely finish it next time. For now, we're gonna have a save here. Then we're gonna find ourselves a raiding target to pass on the love that we have received today from Ketchup. But yeah, thanks again so much everybody for coming in and for joining for this rather short stream. I'm gonna be back most likely on Saturday. If all goes well, then I'm gonna do like a collaboration stream with Levi, doing some Night in the Woods, which we're gonna play together. But yeah, we have to see if everything works out though, because last Saturday we tried, Twitch was having like massive issues. So yeah, we'll see, I guess. We'll eat some Oreos. Hell yeah, dude. We actually have some. Like mini Oreo cookies. But yeah, I think for now we're gonna send everybody over to Lucinda, who's gonna be playing some Sims 4. And see how she's doing today with that game. I've also played some Sims recently, the second one actually, on Retro Sundays. We're probably gonna be playing more of it this Sunday as well. So I'm looking forward to that. But for now, I'm gonna get ready to raid. So if you're coming with a raid, feel free to use these raid emotes right here. Ketchup, thank you again so much for the raid earlier as well, and also for the resub. As well as Maxi also for the resub. Thank you very much. And yeah, I will catch you all on Saturday for some Night in the Woods. Until then, take care and stay safe.